All right, hey, so we're going to work on installing underglow lights. I'm going to use this fuse tester, and we're going to get in this fuse box here. But let me show you here. Okay, so I found one that could work. So here we go. So turn ignition on, boom, we get power from that fuse. Let's see what number that is. Alright, here's that. Looking at my manual and stuff, trying to see what fuses go where. I determined that I'm going to use this one here for my ignition power. It's going to power the rest of my lights when the ignition comes on, and everything else will come on with it. So let's see here. All right, so we're gonna what we're gonna do is we're gonna run power here. So I didn't show all this yet because it's hard to hold the camera and get up under there. So what we do have though is let me get under here and get some light because it's not that bright. So I took this wire here and connected the two into the fuse box. It's gonna be this wire right here, and then we're just kind of running that around, and that's gonna be the hot that comes off the ignition. So basically this is gonna be for all the lights, all the tablets and everything, all the power for all the cell phone types. And over here for my main phone, it's going to run all the underglow inside here. There's underglow in each area. There's going to be underglow under the car. Originally this is the Diode Dynamics controller. Originally I had it out here in the compartment, but having talked to them about this, we used to have it right here, but I think being out in the elements is messing it up. So what we're going to do is we're going to move everything indoors inside, and then we're going to tap off the ignition. So when the ignition comes on, then basically everything comes on at the same time. And that's what we want to happen here. But we're going to tap off the fuse box and bring this into here with all my other wiring. So basically what we have here is, this is going to be the incoming. Right here is going to be, this is waiting for a hot to connect everything else. So once the ignition comes on, the hot will come on, and then the whole system will come on. So that's what we're gonna look at now. So let's give it a little test, just to make sure all the wiring is good from the fuse box. Now let me see here. Put this headset on so that you can see what I'm doing. All right, so what we should have now is, when I touch the two, shouldn't be nothing, but as soon as I turn it, there it goes. See, now everything boots up. Well, all right, so been making a little progress here. As you see, I had to take the seats out. And what we did is basically took and added a wire to the fuse box and ran it under here. Okay, I drilled a hole through here so the wire could come up. And what we've done is ran a couple wires here where the hot connects to this. We want red cap here. This is indicates the hot coming from the fuse box. So when the ignition comes on, okay, so as you can see, everything, all the wiring here turns off with just the ignition because it runs by the fuse over there. So when I turn it on, as you can see, everything comes on. Power. So as you can see now, the next thing of the subject is, now that we have all this wiring done, everything is powered here. All these are powered. They're all connected in here into one hot powers it all. Okay, and then that was the first step of this whole process. Now also the digital, or the Diode Dynamic underglow controller is right here. So that was the next step, and that runs independently with the switch. So if I leave that on and I turn the ignition off, it will go off. But if I want all the lights, including the underglow, to turn off with the ignition, boom. Okay, so all the lights inside, as you can see, over here, all these come on. All this comes on. And now this is ready to power the underglow lights, which we now have to run from here to its respective places, front, back, side. All right, so I already started running 2 wires down from the firewall over here. Now originally I had the controller over in the engine compartment, but it kept malfunctioning there. So we decided, so I had talked to Diode Dynamics about it, and they suggested that I hook it all up, power this from the fuse box, and then just have it inside the car somewhere. So I chose to put it here with all my other chargers and hookups that power all the lights into here and all the tablets and stuff. Let's now I think the next step we're gonna have to do is go ahead and run the start testing these wires out on here and make sure that this controller works and powers each and every light before I even hook it up. I want to make sure that they all work first. So that's our next step, is to hook up every wire to this before I even run it to the lights. So we want to get all 4 lights to this point, bring it up into here, and then we can test them, get them ran to where they go. If there's enough room, I may need extensions if there's just not enough. So that's the next thing I got to figure out, is there enough room to run with the controller nice and safe in here. I got to see if there's enough room for it. So so that's the next step. All right, so let's do that next. All right, so I'm going to take a brand new light and what I believe is a brand new controller, and we're going to test each controller. Okay, that one's good. Blue. Okay, so we know the controller works. That's what you want to do when you first check out your controller. Let's test that out first before you even go to running wire. That way we know for a fact that it works. All right. So now that we know that, we can start running the wires through. I'm gonna run just running it through basically through the firewall hole here. Everything will run through there like all the other wires do. Because one of the wires we ran through the power, the negative was I run it from the battery there, but of course the hot red, you know, the positive side of the battery will run from the fuse coming through the car, but the negative I still ran from, you know, just so we can clarify that. I did run. All right, so just to look at it one more time here. So we have the controller, we got all 3 wires connected so far, but we ran into a little snag where 2 of the wires that I'm going to run for the underglow are too short. The one going to the back only makes it up to there, so we're going to need an extension to come around, come through the firewall, come back around through and up to here to connect to this one. To connect to this one right here. This one's going to run through the firewall and then around the front here under the right front of the windshield wipers. There's a harness that goes across the firewall, and then that'll connect to the one there, and then that one's going all the way back, and that one's already hooked up already. The one to the side will clearly make it down and over easily. That one's already hooked up. So the only one that's left to hook up is the back one. We don't have an extension to run to here yet, so we're gonna have to get one, run it across, come through, come under, come through, and plug it in, and then we'll be complete with that. So our first phase, we ran a hot from the fuse box that could turn on with the ignition here. That wire come through, comes under, comes up in, and that connects, gives the power to everything else. There's a negative wire that comes in straight from the battery, also comes around, goes to the firewall to the battery. And so there is a where it's marked white, that is the negative pole of the battery. Where it's marked let's see, okay, then they have, let me see, okay, so the black one then is the coming from the fuse box to here. Then we have, of course, a switch that controls, 2 wires come through to control the controller that comes with the switch right here, which can be turned, it can be left on so it comes on with the ignition, or you can turn it off and manually turn it off even with the ignition on. So that's what's going on with that. All right, so so what, right now we got to get 2 extension cords, and then we can finish running this last one. All right, so we're in the phase now where we've ran all the wires. So here's the controller here, and then all the 4 wires run through here, and then they run down the console. They're underneath here, come around, and then you can kind of see here, they come like around and go up into the hole of the firewall up here. Okay, so that's how we got them up. It's coming around. They all come through here, the firewall there. And now what I'm doing is, when you run wires, the best way to do it is use a snake, and I even use one that glows so I can kind of see if where I'm going. It's dark. And so right now we're running these wires to the areas where we're going to hook up the lights. All right, so this one's going to be for the front. I'm now currently running the one on the side over here. It's going to be this one. So let's get under here. We'll start looking at some of this. Let's see where that snake is at. Still hitting something. Still going all the way. Wait a minute. Might have just got it. There it is. As you can see, by the video, you gotta see it coming down. So that's what we wanted. It's come down to here, and there we go. Now, just take the wire off. That's why it's good to have a fishing line when you're trying to run these wires around. And you're going a long ways from the console all the way around the car. So this is the easy way to get it through. So there we go. So let's pull it down. Okay, so here we've got the wire ran for the side now, and the lights here. We're just kind of staging stuff now. Lights, the wire. Okay, now this wire for the back I've already got ran down. I'm going to show you how we're going to run another one. So basically that wire, I ran it all the way down here, and then kind of comes around like that, around the muffler, and then it's kind of like see how, yeah, see, it's right there, and then it comes here. We are going to redo the mounts on all these though. All right, so we're going to run this side wire through here and come down around that wheel and go down. So let's start using our trusty little fish line. Here we go. All right, just put him right there for a minute. So anytime one thing I'll demonstrate for you is when you're running fish line. Okay, you take our cord here. Kind of just, I always use electrical tape. It works pretty good. It's got a little flex on it. Boom, just kind of put it right there. Kind of protect the wire a little bit like that, so it doesn't get dirt in it when we push it through. So, oops, let's not knock the camera off. All right, so let's try to run this. All right, so we already had this one running through here, so we're going to do the same thing again. Start bringing it through. Let's see. Once I get through there, I'll show you how we're going to do this. So we're going to have to open this up and kind of come around here and then go down. So let's do that next. Okay, so another thing is, another improvement I'm going to make on the dynamic diode setup is I got these channels on Amazon, and these diffuser pieces. So instead of just trying to stick this right up on the car, see, the idea, is because the last time I had this system set up, seemed like there was a lot of problems with it malfunctioning. So one of the things I did is, of course, move the controller out of there, the engine compartment, and into the car to keep that protected from the elements. And then we're going to protect these lights too. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to take and all it comes with is this little backing strip. It's really, oh. Okay. So I can independently do it, or I can leave it on to switch. So, all right. So let's look at the first light here. Okay, look at that. Hey. All right. Okay, so we got the first one going. As you can see, I've got it in the frame, and the diffuser's on there. Little cap on the side. and put a little plumber's putty in there just to kind of, you know, fill that side a little bit, since I can't put a cap there. Just kind of keep the water out. And then, so that wire has now been kind of measured out where I want it, and it's going to go up like that once I get the mounts. So the mounts will be next. So we're still working on the wiring over here. So I've got all that pulled back. We're going to tuck all this back in here, kind of just put it, you know, put the wires down. But I've already got it tucked back under, so it goes under this here. So that's kind of runs there, and then it's going to go there. So that's good. All the slack is off of it. It's all going to be up in here. Still haven't done that yet one. I think we'll do this side next. Do the front last. The back we'll do last, actually. Front then the back. All right, so let's get next. Okay, so I do want to kind of document how I do this. So so this strip here is we're just gonna put it in the channel. Now in order to, obviously you can see this is longer than the channel, so we want to find the first copper point here, and we're gonna cut it right there with these. So let's get this, and yeah, so we can just take it right along that. Oops, snip, and that's it. That's the end of this. Now, all right, to get this on, you just kind of take and just kind of push it down, kind of move it, push it with your, you know, kind of push it in as you go. Just kind of push it down, push it in, like so, until it goes all the way down the channel, like so. Okay, so let's so we got everything lined up, all the wires are ran. Now it's time to go ahead and mount these wires, the brackets up. As you can see, we got them all ready to go all the way around. I already started to mount this one here. We're not done yet, so just kind of threw it up there. So let's get started. Start mounting these up. Okay, so we got these here for the mounting brackets, screws. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to drill these in. Let's get to it. Okay, so so what we're doing here now is getting these all up, mounted onto the trim. So I've got all the other ones done, but I'm going to show you how I just do one of them, and then this is the last one that has to go up. So we'll just show you how this is basically done. So we're going to have, because this is I want to have at least 3 of them up. All right, 1, 2, 3 screws. We're gonna have 1, 2, 3 of these as well, just for additional reinforcement. Okay. Now, so these are going to be the brackets here, as you can see. Screw, and then we'll use these zip ties to kind of hold it up, make sure that these fail, that'll still hold it so it doesn't fall to the ground, and then we lose it all. So we're going to take a drill bit that kind of corresponds with that screw, so it's tight. All right, and we're going to just try to begin to line it up here where it's going to be placed. All right, so let's have a look here. All right, so we have we have an old one here. We're gonna take that off though. All right, so Let me see, where's that? Yeah. We're gonna have it right about here. Okay, so I already put one. I already put one up here just to kind of guide me for the rest. But now we got to get this one off too. So let's do that first. To get this low, you definitely need to use an impact drill, because otherwise you're not gonna be able to get under there. And I mean, this car is kind of low, but I mean, still, it's no traditional one is gonna get under there without jacking it up, and I don't feel like having to jack it up. So let's see here. Okay, let's trying to get this one out of here. It's kind of in the way. There we go. Got that one out. All right, so let's get some drill marks in here. All right, try to line it up right about there. So we're gonna put one. Okay, let's get a hole right about here. Alright, so that's that. So we'll get it started by hand first. We'll just do one at a time so we don't lose track of where the holes are at. So turn that by hand at first. Alright, then we want to line that up, I guess, with the last. Well, we got to do one down here too. So we're gonna have to kind of switch over a little bit. Kind of move around a little for a minute to get down on this end. All right. Oh. All right, so we got this one here. Just kind of roughly trace my line out to right about there. Okay. All right. So there it is. Yeah, turn it in. Oops. Ah. Damn. So, dang. All right, continuing along here. Let's see. Let's see. All right, so we're at about still a lot to do here. That rain's looming, coming. That rain is a coming. All right, let's drill these in. And this one. All right. All right, now I want to kind of just really secure this with twist ties now. I'm gonna get onto this next. So we're gonna get a bigger drill bit, kind of just drill around it like that. To secure it. Put a hole there, and then one right beside it. Okay, then we can take a twist tie. Okay, like so. Let's see where that. I actually just think I could just use the one hole. Let me see. Like that. Yeah. There. That holds that up. Alright. Gonna trim that, and then we'll just do a couple more of those down the way, and we'll be done. Alright, so we got everything mounted up, and let's have a little look, and then we'll show one more view tonight. But that, alright, that's mounted up. Coming around. You can already see the nice glow already. But, boom. Even on the other side, you can see it. Let's have a look here. Nice and secure. Okay. Oh. And the final side. Well, alrighty. Looks good, all secure. Okay. We'll do one more night shot as soon as it gets dark. We'll do that next. And then of course the little switch here kind of controls it. Oh. All right. And then of course you got the let's see something. No, wait a minute. That's not the right app. I mean, I'm in the wrong one. Diode Dynamics. All right. Let's just have a look at that real quick. Color. All right, so we turn it to red real quick just to see what it would do, because that is one problem that we have with this, is not having equal colors. And that's red. Okay, that's red. And then the back should be red if everything is working correctly. And it's red, yes. Okay, so green, just as another example. Green, yes, green all the way around. Green, 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 green. Green, yep, and green. Then back to blue. Blue, blue. Blue. Perfect. And blue. Yep. All right. So, whoop. Whoop. That's how that works. And that's the Diode Dynamic app. Is what you're going to use to control it. All right. We'll check out some more features later. You got like patterns and stuff. You want to do different things. But we're not going to do that today. I just want to make sure the solid colors are there. Alright, let's have a look at the lights as it's getting a little darker out. Looking good. Looking good. Alright. So at night it's going to really look good. Alright, so this is the final result of the lighting. Coming around, back, sides, and the front. Looks good.